Okay, so if you watched the last video, you know that this is part two of I don't know how many parts yet. Look at the movies coming out in 2025. I think we're up to like number 113 so far on this IDBM list, IDM, or whatever, list of films coming out in 2025. There were some really bizarre ones coming out. In the first half of the list, and some really sort of like ones we all knew about coming because it's like big ones. There were franchise films, there was superhero stuff, and there was horror stuff. A few like weird, crazy ones, like the Halloween one. I actually had to look into that because I was a bit like, what? They said there's a Halloween film coming. It's actually a fan film, and I didn't know fan films ended up on these lists. So obviously they do now. So some of the films we could have talked about before could have been independent fan YouTube movies. I don't know because some of those we looked at before. But we're going to keep going the list anyway. But I thought it was weird that a fan film had made it onto that list. I didn't think that was a thing, but obviously now it's a thing. I suppose with different media sources and such. I know some of them are straight to streaming service films that are coming out soon, and some of them are like theatrical releases. But anyway, so on with the list. And if you have watched the last video, I know it was like nearly an hour long. Thank you for watching it, and I hope you enjoyed it. If not, I'm sorry I wasted your hour. But I don't know how long this one's going to be. But I don't think we're going to get through the whole list. So there's possibly going to be a part three. But let's sit back and go through this list together. Okay. And again, if you want to comment on it, please do. Let's have a little chat about things. If I get something wrong, possibly my pronunciation of things, because I'm rubbish, and especially with names and things like that. So, and if you know the backstory of some of these films, there's some films that have come out and I said, oh, I don't understand what that is or whatever, share. Please do share. Anyway, let's get on with it. Yeah, so we have got 114 out of the 355. A Simple Favor sequel follows Stephanie Smothers and Emily Nelson as they head into a beautiful island of Caprera, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding with a rich businessman. That sounds like it's going to be a love one. It's Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, so it's going to be a romantic sort of thing. The making of. Long married filmmakers have cast over emotional actors to portray their younger selves in a story of their great love. Unfortunately, by the time shooting begins, the fabled marriage is unraveling. That could be quite funny. Blake Lively, Richard Gere, and Diane Keaton. So they're a couple, they're a filmmaker, and they're starting to they're doing a sort of story of their life, and it's going a bit wrong because in real life they're sort of starting to split up. I like that. Could be quite a funny one. Proxy. In a tense sci-fi thriller, a woman miraculously reawakens after a medical trauma to discover her consciousness has been embedded into a biosynthetic body. So again, this is one of these futuristic sort of like AI sort of things. So enjoying a cup of tea. Things where sort of obviously her consciousness gets put into a robot. Could be interesting. Could be a bit scary. At the Sea. After rehab, a woman. Sorry, I laughed at that. After rehab, a woman returns to her family's beach home, readjusting to her old life without her career that gave her identity. She faces the next chapter and forced moves on. So that could be quite a heartfelt film. Woman trying to get over her issues. Mindful. When her husband unexpectedly passes away while using the Mindful app for meditation, Angela, who has grave doubts about a new witness fed, discovers her paranormal forces have merged with the technology. Oh, that's an interesting sort of another look at the Mindful app. Oh, that could be quite interesting. It's another sort of look at the whole AI technology taking over sort of thing. Shotgun Wedding follows the travelling antics of a bachelor when he asks his friends to join him on a weekend trip for his wedding. Could be sort of a hangover style comedy, maybe. Super Troopers 3. Winter Soldiers. I've not seen Super Troopers 1. Third installment of the franchise. Could be good. I don't know. Never heard of it. Friday Afternoon in the Universe. An alcoholic playwright discovers her play has been stolen and is being staged in San Francisco. With the company of a sarcastic bartender and a secretive drifter, the playwright braves the open road to confront the thief. Do you know what that sounds like? The plot of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. when they find out a film's being made of the comic book they were in and they go to try and stop the film being made. That sounds exactly the same as that. Animal Farm. Oh, okay. So they're doing another version of Animal Farm by George Orwell, which is it was a book. I know it was a cartoon animated TV film as well, but it's basically the story of a farm where the animals sort of overthrow the farmer and they sort of take over the farm themselves and sort of be in control, try and make it more fair. But slowly over time, the pigs start to becoming more like the humans used to be. And it gets quite nice, quite dark. I feel I'm going to sneeze a bit. I'm sorry. If I just sneeze on this cow, I'm so sorry. It's quite a dark film. And I remember the animation is really kind of like along the vein of like Watership Down, that kind of thing, where it's quite a dark animation. So I'm up to watch that. And it's Andy Serkis is directing and starring. I know Andy Serkis can do anything motion capture. So I'm guessing this is going to be a motion captured kind of thing with like the real animal stuff, but they're also using motion capture on them. So, and Kathleen Turner. That one I'm looking for. That is going to be on. I want to see that. Calamity Hustle tells the story of former Los Angeles detective turned undercover detective who, after being shaken down by a vicious crime lord, must track down his brother who is responsible for disrupting the diamond heist. There's a lot of information in that, but I guess it's another heist movie, obviously. May Day. Lieutenant Troy Brannan reconnaissance mission over Soviet territory goes awry, forcing him to crash land and survive the Russian wilderness by evading capture and rescue. Ryan Reynolds, eh? Maria Brockovich. That could be quite interesting. Bit of the war-y sort of like thing going on. Boy Band. Under Wraps stars Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, it's going to be a story of like a 90s boy band or something. Everyday Parenting Trips. Comedy that follows the challenges of raising kids during the ongoing monster uprising. Oh, okay. So we're having a monster uprising. That's obviously going to be a full-out comedy. Undying Love. An oh, this sounds funny. Right, and let's have a look at that poster. Let's just have a look at a little glimpse of the stuff. That looks like a comic book. Obviously, this was a comic book. They've been adapted. Okay, let's go back a bit. An ex-soldier falls for a vampire, though in order to be with her, he must take on her creator, who is protected by an army of monsters in a Hong Kong underworld. That sounds insane. That does sound mental. That could be quite fun. Experiment 77. Sorry. A doctor running a woman's behavioural centre struggles to keep her patients stable when one of her colleagues is found dead, and her own mental well-being begins to deteriorate. Interesting. After making some poor choices due to an injury sustained at school, a primary school teacher finds herself and her two kids in a terrible scenario. Now, the fact that they said primary school, this is giving me... because they don't call it primary school in like America, so it could be a British film. Dad Strangelove. Chronicle Terry Someone's life with iconic works of Dr. Strangelove's influence of 1960s culture and through dark comedy as resonates today. So this is basically about the guy that came up with Dr. Strangelove. The Black Bag. When intelligence agent Kathleen Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or his country. Oh, Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett. We just had Black Bag. It's on there twice. Okay, it's on there twice. So nice they did put it on twice. Right, we have got The Naked Gun. Based off the wildly popular comedy franchise, The Naked Gun television series, Police Squad. Oh, so it's another Naked Gun. Liam Neeson's in it. Pamela Anderson. It's got to have... I don't know. But The Naked Gun, I do find the Naked Gun films funny. Even now, I still, when you put them on, they are quite funny. So I'll give that a go. There's one joke in one of them, which is so ridiculous. It's such a silly thing. I always think that's the best thing about the Naked Gun film. It's the little things that happen, like Airplane as well. And there's a scene where he's talking to like one of the other policemen, and he's walking through, and there's a door, and he opens it and walks through it, but then the other guy walks round the set, like to show it's a TV set. And for some reason, that scene cracked me up. The accountant said, "Oh, this is Affleck, is it?" Yeah, it is Affleck. So The Accountant 2 is a sequel to The Accountant, where it's kind of like a guy. I think he had like autism, and he becomes an accountant, but he also becomes like a hitman mafia type accountant. And it was a bloody good film, and it came from, it was before he did Batman, I think. I remember watching it, and I thought, this is why he could be good as Batman. But I enjoyed The Accountant. Lilo and Stitch. So this is another bloody live action. Disney at the minute, and now DreamWorks have started doing it, where they're making live action versions of their animated like films. This is a Lilo and Stitch one. And I don't see the point. They're basically making the films exactly the same as they used to be, but just like with people in them. And the thing that annoys me is most of it is still animated, because most of it is CGI, which is technically an animation. Like Lion King, they said this was a live action Lion King. Well, it wasn't, because the entire thing was animated, just with CGI and better technology. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get on a rant. The Den of Thieves 2. I didn't see Den of Thieves 1. I remember it coming out and everyone talking about it, but I never saw it. Big Nicky's back to hunting Europe. Closing. Oh, we don't need to read that, but basically, yeah, Den of Thieves 2, but I haven't seen the first one. But apparently it was quite good. I remember a friend of mine telling me it's really good. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're live action in that rubbish as well. Oh no, I didn't even like the animated version of that. I remember it, but I weren't keen on it. Cruella 2. Oh, the Emma Stone Cruella, so it's getting a sequel. They kind of already done that. They did like the 101 Dalmatians films, didn't they? With Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil. I don't know, they seem to love it. Magnificent 3. Again, that was the same as another live action-y one, but looking at the bad guys more. Which obviously them two are very much in the same vein, aren't they? But Maleficent, obviously, Plot and the Rats, but we know Maleficent as the character, I think Angelina Jolie actually does play her. And the same with Cruella, it's going to be the similar sort of thing. Fast and Loose. After leaving the criminal organisation, suffering memory loss from an attack, he reunites with his crew, only to find that things aren't what he thinks they are. So that's an interest. It's Will Smith, directed by Michael Bay. So a criminal leader suffers memory loss. I wonder if he's completely lost his memory of everything, and he's got to try and work out who he is and what's going on. That could be a good film. Him trying to sort of work for his criminal organisation, not knowing anything about it, but everyone knowing him. Oh, that would be good. The Council. A never before told story of a crime syndicate consisting of 7 African American men who ruled Harlem in the 1970s and early 80s. Focus on Nick Barnes, dubbed Mr. Untouchable by the New York Times. Stars Will Smith. That's a dark one for Will Smith, isn't it? He's more of the comedy action guy. But after that slap, he's going a bit dark. BioShock. That's a game. Yeah. So it's based on a game. I think it's an Xbox game, BioShock. I never played it. I'm not massively into games. I mean, when I was younger, I used to be. I think the last big games I played was like The Last of Us and Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man one, the sort of the big one that came out. And then I kind of stopped playing games, really. But I loved The Last of Us, and I did love Spider-Man. But BioShock's never really sort of on my radar. Rush Hour 4! Now, I know it's silly, but I do love the Rush Hour films. They are ridiculous, and I love Jackie Chan in pretty much anything he's in. The man is just hilarious, and just how he's doing stuff at his age. I used to do martial arts when I was younger, and I used to be able to kick the top of a door frame. I now, at the age of 44, cannot kick the handle of the door, let alone the top of the door frame. Jackie Chan is still doing his mega stuff. I think he's like 70 or something now, but it's ridiculous. The man's like some sort of unknown entity. But then Chris Rock obviously being funny as well. That was a good pairing. I did enjoy that. Perfect. An American gymnast, Kerri Strug, tries to overcome a terrible injury in order to compete for a gold medal in the Olympic Games. Is that a true story? Never heard of it, but I like that story, the synopsis. Das some German word. True story of a German mafia hitman, whoever his name is, aka Angel Face, who was connected to the Caribbean crime syndicate and became a state witness against the Italian mafia in 1998. Never heard of that, but could be interesting. Crenshaw. Jackson, a boy whose family had fallen on hard times, is visited by his imaginary friend, a giant cat named Crenshaw. That sounds childlike. That is interesting though. The Old Guard 2. Now, I don't think I saw The Old Guard 1, but I remember it coming out. Okay. Andy leads immortal warriors against a powerful enemy threatening the group. They grapple with the resurfacing immortal. The Old Guard. I'm trying to remember what The Old Guard was. Long-awaited immortal coupling their mission to safeguard humanity. I can't remember what it was. Girls Trip 2. It's unknown, but apparently Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith are in it. An Untitled Alien prequel. So there's going to be another one. So obviously we've got Prometheus and not many people like those ones, and Alien Covenant, and no one liked that one. And then we had that new one, that Romulus that come out. So obviously because of the success of that, and everyone quite liking Romulus, even though I found the first half of it fantastic, the second half of it was like, what the hell is going on here? The second I saw Black Goo, I was like, I'm out. But that could be interesting. Metal Gear Solid, we all know what that is. And I'm surprised this hasn't been made a long time ago. If it's the one based on the game, it is, yeah. I'm surprised this hasn't been made years ago. An advanced tank is stolen by a terrorist group, and elite soldier, Solid Snake, is sent to retrieve it. Oscar Isaacs, I can kind of see that. A Star Trek Beyond sequel. Okay, so they're making... Because I thought that franchise had sort of died. I didn't think they were going to do any more of that. But it's interesting to know. I didn't mind those films, actually. I quite like the Star Trek films, the newer ones. I'm not really a big Star Trek fan, but those films weren't too bad. The Diversion. In the near future, a pandemic virus has spread via paper money on Black Friday. Oh my God. Discriminating New York, a group of civilians trained in opera and catastrophic times have achieved an attempt to save whose remains? Jake Gyllenhaal. I like the sound of that because that's a big terror attack. And if you put a virus out on money during Black Friday, but everyone pays by card now, so maybe it wouldn't work as well. No. Follow Cass, or Eternal Return. Follow Cass, a young woman who has become a personal point of emotional vulnerability until she meets Virgil, a cartographer. Along with his partner Malcolm, the pair will attempt to travel back in time to awaken Cass to new love. They go back in time. Sounds a bit nuts. Celibate. Follow Olivia Bogle, a powerful independent woman who loves sex, as she meets a boy who is celibate. So she wants it and he doesn't. That never happens in life. It probably does. I'm sorry, that was a really horrible thing to say. Right. Double Booked. Self-help writer and his pregnant wife plan a getaway to a remote cabin to find another couple already there. As a blizzard traps them together, the system error spirals into a nightmarish game of desperation and peril. So obviously the couple with the pregnant wife is going to turn up. The people there are probably going to be like some sort of nutters or something, and it's all going to go wrong. A tree falls in the woods. I'm getting nothing from that. It says rated R though. That means like bad, doesn't it, I suppose? This plot has been kept under wraps. A tree fell in the woods. That's that famous phrase, isn't it? If a tree falls in the woods, do you hear it? College Republicans. A young Carl vies for position of chief campus Conservative under the guidance of Lee Atta. No idea what any of that means. I'm guessing it's some sort of political film. 1,000 Boys' Kisses. 17-year-old Rune returns from Norway to Georgia, wondering why his childhood friend Poppy stopped communicating, and he uncovers the truth as more heartbreak awakes. This is going to be something sad, isn't it? Like she's dying or something. It's going to be horrible. A Happy Life. A woman embarks on a mission of self-discovery after she suspects her workaholic husband of having an affair. Okay. All I was thinking then was, I don't know. The Gauntlet. Detective Shockley must transport a witness to testify against a mobster. Betrayed by corrupt cops, they hijack a bus and reinforce it, attempting to reach the court while being pursued by armed officers. It's Tom Cruise and Scarlett Johansson. This sounds a bit to me like Speed, but with people attacking the bus. That's what I'm getting from that. Battle of Bastan Cross. Doesn't give me anything, but it's telling me that Leonardo DiCaprio's in it and Sean Penn. The Wagger. The Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny and Murder. Ooh. It's Scorsese and DiCaprio. A British naval ship, the Wagger, I don't know, is wrecked on a desolate island off the tip of South America. In 1740, the captain and crew struggle to survive and maintain order while battling extreme weather and their own human nature. That could be really good. That could be really good. The idea of them trapped on an island, almost like a, oh my God, Lord of the Fliesy sort of thing, but with adults. And they sort of turn on each other and the weather's kicking off. That sounds good. Talk to Me. And obviously it's a sequel to Talk to Me. I know they're hyphing up the two. That's one with the weird hand statue in it when they grab the hand is to see the ghosts. Control. A troubled director wakes up one morning to the sound of a mysterious voice in his head. With his reality now in question, the voice makes a series of escalating demands he must follow, or devastating consequences unfold. That sounds good. So the voice in his head's telling him what to do. I wonder if it's like someone's put an implant in there, or it's just him going mental. But James McAvoy, he's good at weird, crazy stuff, isn't he? Let's be honest. Like Split, he was good at playing a crazy man. I like that. I like the sound of this. California Scheming. Two Scottish lads from Dundee conned the music industry by pretending to be an established Californian rap duo, bagging a record deal and appearing on MTV until they were unrevealed. So is this true? Director James McAvoy's directing it and he's also starring in it. Is that a true story? Because if it is, that is hilarious. And I want to watch it. Turn Up the Sun. Two couples arrive at countryside mansions they booked unknowingly together. They discover strange occurrences during stay. Again, James McAvoy. See, he's doing a lot of crazy nutty stuff lately. He's done the Split and he did that recent one. I can see the poster of it in my head, but I can't remember the name of the film. I didn't watch it, but I know I want to watch it on my list of things to watch. Liz. A Life of an American Founding Mother. It celebrates Elizabeth Patron de Ponte. I don't know who that is, but... Eerie Meanie. A reformed teenager getaway driver is dragged back into the unsavoury past when a former employee offers a chance to save the life of his canonically unreliable ex-boyfriend. Don't know, weird name. Bella. Follow a police officer's daughter as she embarks on a scavenger hunt to find her father's attacker and clean up perverse corruption inside New York Police Department after seeing her father struggle to survive. That could be a good one. The Amateur. A CIA cryptographer manages to blackmail his agent to training him to let him go after a group of terrorists who kill his wife. Oh, that's Revenge. Is that Thingy Malik? So he gets someone to train him out to get people, I suppose. I like the sound of that. The Damning of Country Merchant. In 1910, Indonesia. I am rubbish. When I get tired, my dyslexia gets worse. It's really weird. Evil seeps into the lives of a shopkeeper and his family after his wife pursues an impassioned affair with a visitor who has taken up residence in their home. Oh, so it's kind of like an invading of the home thing where she starts having an affair and gets him in the house. And oh, that could be a good one. Night boat to Tangier. Two colourful Irish criminals flee to southern Spain to meet up with an old associate in search of one's estranged daughter. Michael Fassbender again. Hope. A mysterious discovery is made on the outskirts of a remote harbour town. Residents find themselves in a desperate fight for survival against something they've never encountered before. So I'm guessing aliens or monster or weird creature feature thing here. Hope. Something washes up on the shore. It's trying to kill them all. Could be good. The governess. Three governesses ignite rebellion in their household in the light of their employers. Killing Castro. That Liam Neeson. No, Al Pacino. Okay. In 1960, Fidel Castro comes to America to speak to the UN. He's invited by Malcolm X to stay in Harlem at the famous hotel, Teresa. Unsure of his intentions, FBI and CIA and Mafia attempt to eliminate him by any means necessary. So this guy turns up and they're trying to kill him. I wonder if that's a true story. Laughing at My Nightmare. The Wizard of the Kremlin. A young Russian filmmaker becomes an unlikely advisor to Vladimir Putin as he rises to power in post-Soviet Russia, navigating the new era's complexities and chaos. Jude Law. Unsound. A New England state trooper privately struggling with irreversible hearing loss is tasked with investigating a prison break of a notorious gang leader. She uncovers a conspiracy that threatens to end her career and her life. Anna Kendrick. Cleopatra, coming at ya. Feature film based on the life and power of the powerful Egyptian leader. So it's a biopic of Cleopatra. Stars Gal Gadot. Him. A promising young football player joins an isolated compound to train under a dynasty's team aging quarterback. So you've got the sort of the old guy who's quite good in his past. He's training up the young guy. Could be good. Marlon Weinstein. I'm guessing he's the old guy. The Anaconda. No, that's not an Anacondas film, is it? Let's have a look. Circus performers stranded in a rainforest, as they get stranded there all the time, after Anaconda attacks their boat, encounters poachers hunting Anaconda, who sees them as bait. Performers use circus skills as survival against this deadly threat. That, and it's got Jack Black and Paul Rudd in it. That is going to be batshit crazy, isn't it? I've got it like doing acrobats. I imagine like using the mangrove swamps to acrobat over the top of them, using the vines and stuff. And the snake like reaches up and just grabs them off, or I don't even know. That just sounds like ridiculously mental. Downton Abbey 3. If you're a Downton Abbey fan, this one's for you. I have not really watched any Downton Abbeys. I know the TV series was massive, and as was the films obviously liked, but I never saw any of them. The Unbreakable Boy, it's a PG. A young boy with both a rare brittle bone disease and autism. But what makes him truly unique is his joyous, funny, life-affirming view of the world that transforms and unites everyone around him. That sounds quite lovely. That's going to be one of those proper films that gets you a bit teary that you watch with your kids. Back in action. Former CIA spies Emily and Matt are pulled back to espionage after the secret identities are exposed. Is that not just Mr. and Mrs. Smith? That sounds like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Right. Average height, average build. Sounds like me. A serial murderer hires a lobbyist to change the law so that he can commit murder more readily. The murderer attempts to stop a retired police officer from following his trial because he won't give up on the killings. Sounds bizarre. Bad Blood. See, that's what's her name, but she's not mentioned on here. Entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes creates a biotech company that skyrockets her to fame with an estimated value of billions. When federal agencies began investigating the company, her integrity is called into doubt. Mob Girl. After years as a mob's girlfriend, a woman begins to get in on her action herself, eventually becoming a police informant and major witness in the government case against a crime family. Die, my love. In a remote, forgotten rural area, mother struggles to maintain her sanity as she battles with psychosis. Oh, that sounds like a weird one. Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. That's going to be one where you're not sure if it's real or not. Apparently, there's going to be an untitled Jennifer Lawrence and Amy I don't know. I know the girl who's talking about project. Plot unknown, describes a comedy about sisters with opposing personalities. One is a type A, sort of lifelong dream, becoming a flight attendant. The other is a simple mess. This will be a random comedy. The Wives. Affluent women indulging in day drinking day drinking frauds and lavish lifestyles face a shocking turn when a body is discovered. Jennifer Lawrence again. That could be quite good. The Electric State. An orphan teenager traverses the American West with a sweet but mysterious robot and an eccentric drifter in search of a young... I saw a trailer for this. It's like robots have taken over the world and like robots have gone all AI crazy like Terminator style. They're also going mental and doing things. And they sort of taken them all and dumped them in this like area because they can't like kill them for whatever reason, but they dumped them all in this one area. And I think it's about their uprising, but there was... I think the boys... like the one robot helps them. It looks very... it's like kid friendly, but it looks a bit creepy as well. Watch Dogs. Don't know what that is, but it was a computer game called Watch Dogs, and it's based on that. Behind the Curtain of Night. After being declared dead for a second time, a man comes back to life with the ability to see his past lives. Oh, so we're looking at past lives. What's the picture look like? So he sees like World War II. Okay. The Rental Family. Japanese rental company hires struggling American actor in Tokyo. He plays various roles in clients' lives, embarking on a introspective journey through the unlikely experience. Brendan Fraser. Okay, so he gets hired, he starts taking over their lives. All these like late 90s, early 2000s actors suddenly coming back from nowhere. Pressure. A ticking clock thriller based on an extraordinary true story of 72 hours leading up to D-Day. Oh, God. That's going to be a good one. If you like your war films and that, and the idea of like, you know it's coming, this like war's about to start, it's all about to kick off, and like that's going to be good. Kate is dealing with a personal tragedy while owning and training horses in Echo Valley. So the film's called Echo Valley. An isolated and picturesque place when her daughter Claire arrives on her doorstep, frightened, trembling, and covered in someone else's blood. Sydney Sweeney, Julianne Moore. Is this going to be a kind of Last House on the Left sort of deal? I wonder if it is. It's got that vibe to it. Again, I don't know. I'm just reading this little synopsis and trying to come up with what it could be. Groove Tales. Mice compete in a street dance competition. Mice. Oh my God. I've got this image now of little CGI mice doing breakdance. Like, was it the Just Bring It films? No, not Just Bring It. Oh, Street Dance and all that sort of thing. And what's the one with Channing Tatum in it? Where he met his like ex-wife, or I think she's ex-wife now, but they did the dancing and all that stuff. It's that, isn't it? With animated mice. Family bonds between fathers, sons, and brothers. Oh, sorry. Animal are explored as complex relationships unfold through personal journeys and general conflict. We're So Dead. On Christmas, a Christmas film. On Christmas Eve, a resident is dead in more than one way. The servers just want to survive the shift, even with Killer Karen on the loose. What? Comedy. We're So Dead. So a killer's on the loose, but the servants that are serving at this Christmas party are like staying there as this killer person's on the loose, as female killers on the loose. Summer Gold. Okay. Follows 4 12-year-old best friends sent to a remote summer camp without technology. Oh, yeah. They uncover a mystery involving Civil War gold and suspicious counsellors while learning to appreciate the world around them. This sounds like a Goonies-style coming-of-age film, and I see that Jerry O'Connell's in it, which makes me think of Stand By Me straight away. That could be good. The idea of kids nowadays going to a camp, they're not allowed to use technology. I love the sound of that. Tiger Bones. A teenage runaway martial artist befriend a mysterious young woman with a dark past. On the road together, they become a unlikely duo and join Secret Society of Thieves. It's basically going to be a crazy action film. The build-out. A friend test is tested when 2 young women experience something strange in the desert. Does that look like UFOs? No, it's a dude on a motorbike. Okay. So, here we go. Screamboat. This is... So, basically, a lot of the characters have gone into public domain now. So, like, where Disney created them, for so many years, they can be used only by Disney. And then suddenly, everyone can use these characters once they sort of hit that so many years of being in the whatever it is. So now they're doing these horror movie versions of beloved characters. We've got, I think they call it the Pooniverse, where you've got like the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was the first one. There's a Grinch one called the Mean One. There's, I think there's like a few others coming out now, but Mickey Mouse is definitely one they're going to do. And this is the Steamboat Willie sort of Mickey Mouse one. So a late night boat ride turns into a desperate fight for survival in New York City when a mischievous mouse becomes monstrous reality. Can the motley crew survive the killer creature with a taste for tourists? Hello. Elio, a space fanatic with an active imagination, finds himself in a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms, navigating a crisis of intergalactic proportions and somehow discovering who is truly meant to be. So this is going to be a little animated one. Disney Pixar. So a little boy goes up into space and must save the universe somehow. Until dawn. Instantly thinking vampires, could be wrong. A group spends the weekend in a ski lodge on an anniversary of their friend's disappearance, unaware that they are not alone. Vampires. Got to be vampires. Family Secrets. That says Ace, though. What's that about? Right. A young man infiltrates a wedding to seek revenge on the bride's grandfather and befriending the groom and seducing the bride. That young man's got a lot going on, hasn't he? Do Not Enter. A group of explorers investigate an old abandoned hotel, encountering a strange supernatural being and a complete group search for the legendary hidden treasure. Bambi, The Reckoning. So this is another one of those films I was talking about. The ones that were, what they call it? The public domain. So now Bambi has become public domain and anyone can use that character now. And we've got another one of these sort of Pooniverse movies. So this is After a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, the mutated, grief-stricken deer on a deadly rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother. What does that look like? Bambi the Wrecking. Look at the state of that. It's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. Dick Marino, Monster Slayer. Join Monster Slayer Dick Marino as he joins the team with sexy agent Michelle Pfeiffer and vamptress Savannah. Can Dick Marino stop merciless king of the vampires, Count Mordok? Stay tuned. That sounds like it's going to be bloody hilarious. A comedy horror straight out of the 80s style. It even look at that poster. If that is a real poster, that looks so 80s, and it's been done that way on purpose. That is, I know I did there. It's got to go up there. That looks absolutely, absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see that. I don't even know who these people are in it, but yeah, Batman. They made a Batman Beyond film. Is it animated? It's got to be animated, right? Under supervision of now retired Bruce Wayne, high schooler Terry McGinnis balances crime fighting and budding relationships in a future in Neo Gotham. So Batman Beyond is that live action? I just part of the DC universe or not. So Batman Beyond, that looks all Japanese, was the continuation of the Batman animated series, as in like in the future when Bruce Wayne gets old and can't do it anymore, he gets a young kid to take over and builds him like this like super high-tech batsuit. Huntington, a young man hatches a murderous plot to inherit his family's wealth. Oh, you cheeky sod. So the guy's obviously trying to nick all the money for his family. Blue Moon. Werewolves, maybe, I don't know, here we go. Ethan Hawke's in it. Tells a story of Loren's heart struggle with alcoholism and mental health as he tries to save face during the opening of Oklahoma. It was nothing like I thought it was going to be. Okay, Oklahoma. That wasn't Hugh Jackman in that musical? I think he was. Honey, don't. Colin's new film continues his lesbian B-movie trilogy after Driveway Dolls, centering on two women on a road trip. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've not seen the first one, but okay. Return to Silent Hill. When a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill in search of his lost love, James finds a once recognisable town and encounters terrifying figures, both familiar and new, and begins questioning his own sanity. The Strangers Chapter 2. The Strangers Chapter 1, I've not seen it, but I haven't heard anything good about it. But they're going to give it another go. On their way to their honeymoon, a couple's vehicle breaks down, forcing them to take refuge in a remote Airbnb. As night falls, three masked strangers terrorise them until dawn. So it's the same as all the other Strangers films. Good fortune. A struggling man who gets his life swapped with a wealthy friend by a mystical force. He inherits his friend's lavish lifestyle while his friends experience the financial hardships. That to me sounds like Trading Places in a way, only done with magic. The idea of two different people swapping the life. Father, mother, sister, brother. Everyone wants to be an AAK lover. That's an Ant and Dec reference there, PJ and Duncan. Estranged siblings reunite after years apart, forced to confront unresolved tensions and reevaluate their strained relationships with emotionally distant parents. Popeye's Revenge. It's another one. It's another one of these public domain things. So, the legend of Popeye haunts a group of counsellors as they intend to open a summer camp. So basically, instead of Jason, it's Popeye. Yeah, the spinach in Sailor Man, that guy. This is literally about him being a serial killer nutter. The Smashing Machine. The story of mixed martial artist and UFC champion Mark Kerr. Dwayne Johnson's in it and Emily Blunt. The Lost Lands. A sorceress travels to Lost Lands in search of mystical search for magical powers and allows a person to transform into a werewolf. I love a werewolf film. It's got Dave Bautista in it as well. Gotta love Big Dave. I like that poster. She's got the scythes. Look at that. This sounds batshit crazy, but bloody good. Bautista as a werewolf. Havoc. After a drug deal gone wrong, a bruised detective must fight his way through a criminal underworld to... Oh, God, I've gone sideways. It's all gone nuts. Criminal underworld to rescue politician's estranged son, unraveling a deep web of corruption and conspiracy that ensnares the entire city. Tom Hardy, he's not a bad actor. You can turn his hand to anything. Nosferatu, that's just come out, I think. Gothic Tale, yeah, that's the one. This has literally just come out. I haven't seen it yet. I know it's out there already. Nosferatu, it's basically the story of Nosferatu, which was like a rip-off of Dracula. The person that did it got sued or something. And then like the real Dracula films have come out since then, and this is obviously a remaking of that original Dracula film that wasn't a Dracula film because they didn't have the rights for it. If any of what I just said made sense, well done for keeping up. But I've heard it's quite good, so I won't mind watching it. Grind. A group of college students host a midnight grindhouse film festival and discover a cursed art house horror called Creeping Chaos. In classic horror fashion, they mistakenly screen the film Unleash Mayhem. It kind of sounds like a B-movie version of The Ring. The Complete Unknown. This is the Bob Dylan biopic, isn't it? Yeah, it's the biopic of Bob Dylan. If you're a big fan of Bob Dylan, you're probably going to like this film. I'm not a big Bob Dylan fan. Here, a generation story about families and a special place they inhabit, sharing love, lost, laughter. Tom Hanks, Paul Bettany and Robin Wright. September 5th. During the summer of 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich, Germany and American sports broadcast team must adapt to live coverage of Israel athletes being held hostage by a terrorist group. But did that really happen? Looks like that one's already come out. Flight Risk. This is the one where Mark Wahlberg has a stupid thing on his head, isn't it? Like a hairpiece thing. A pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tension soar and trust is tested, and not everyone on board is who they seem. Presence. This looks good. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it looks really good. A family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. Now, this film, I believe, let me have a look. It is the one, right? So this film I really, really want to see. It's a sort of poltergeisty, conjuring-y ghost film where there's a ghost in the house, but you see it through the eyes of the ghost. Normally you get the family moving in there wondering what's going on. This is all done through the eyes of the ghost, apparently. And I kind of like that idea. I know they recently did a film about a slasher, and it was all done through the eyes of the slasher, like a Jason Voorhees style slasher. And it was all done through his eyes. But I was really, really interested in this one. The idea of seeing what the ghost is seeing, and maybe why it's get peed off with the people that live there. All right. Well, so that's the list so far. We've got to like 228, I think we're on, which is good. That list wasn't as exciting as the first one. There was a few good standout things there, a few things I'm kind of interested in. But yeah, as the list has gone, it's kind of got a bit less and less exciting, except for that last one on there, that the Presence one. That one's really got me intrigued. I'm kind of interested in that one. There was a few on there that I kind of thought, oh, that sounds interesting, that sounds intriguing. And some ones that sound quite funny, actually. There's a few comedy ones on there. But I was still not as blown away by that part of the list as the last one. Now, I think we're going to go into a part 3 on the next video. That should finish it. I think I'm going to try and get through them all a bit quicker. I don't know if you noticed on this one, I was kind of skipping through a lot of them more than sort of staying detailed on them for like last time. So the video is a little bit shorter than the last video. But if you stick with it, we'll get to the end of it and we'll see what's going on. And then we'll can breathe, I suppose. I was trying to drink a cup of tea through that because my voice is starting to strain a bit. I think I'm coming down with something, if I'm honest with you, but there we go. Anyway, so guys, if you like this video, obviously subscribe and put the notification thing on, that way you'll know when the next one comes out. I don't know if I'm going to get the next one done tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going out to an American Wealth in London showing at my local cinema where there's a guest is the sound guy, so it's going to be, the next video will be based on a review of that night out, because I don't like to leave it too long so I start to forget things, or I kind of want to be fresh on it. So that'll be the next review that I do, and hopefully that'll be a good showing like tonight, because I love the film anyway. So seeing American Wealth in London ain't gonna be a problem, but you know, anyway. So enjoy your night, because obviously it's dark outside, I don't know if you can see, and I'll see you hopefully very, very soon. See ya. Bye.